up, y'all? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment. Back again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notification so that you're able to get all my content and all of my videos. Now, the game was recently on the Drink Champ show with Nori on Drink Champs. I'm sorry, and came out with a bold statement that basically said that Ye, referring to Kanye, has done more for him in in a short period of time than Dr. Dre did for his whole career. And look, just to give you some background on the game, like I happen to be a fan of the game, so I don't want people to think that this is hate or should some sort of way to try to destroy him or anything like that, which that's not going to happen anyway. But the thing about it is that the game, I know I don't know him personally. I don't know him personally, but I know people that are around him and have they play ball with him. I had a brother, brother-in-law who knows him, and he's familiar with him and everything. Say that decent dude and all that. You know what I'm saying? But I never met him personally. Uh, but what they will say is that and from what I've heard, he's a very competitive individual. Like like most alphas are supposed to be with, especially coming from that particular environment. But the thing about it is that for you to make a statement like that, and for you to say that Dr. Dre didn't do anything, well, actually, he kind of shot himself in the foot, many of times. Now, when he first came onto the scene, I'm gonna tell you like this, and the first time that I really started uh, to watch and pay attention to the game, because this is before I had got married and everything, but I saw him when he was, he did the feature with Dipson, and came onto the scene, and people were like, "Yo, who is this? Who is this motherfucker?" You know what I'm saying? Like, he came on and he had bars. Like West Coast artists, you had to give it to him. He wasn't for his style. He fit more. He sounded more East Coast. And that was distinct. But the fact that he was representing Wisconsin really hard in LA and everything, he was putting on and stuff like that. I thought it was quite unique, but it's good at the same time. And for a short period, through the mixtapes and that album that he had, which had blew up or whatnot, Game was doing his thing. But he was with Dr. Dre for only a short period of time, man. I want to say he was with Dr. Dre for a little over a year. Probably, I think about a year or something like that. But he wasn't with them, and then all of a sudden, he started to see the friction, or see where he started to kind of do certain things, like you know, this and other artists, him going at it with 50 and saying G Unite and all this other stuff. I mean, while it was gaining attention and everything like that, you begin to notice, okay, well, you seem salty about a lot of stuff or whatever. And basically what I'm saying is that, you failed to reach the obligations in terms of, working hard and let other distractions get in your way to damage your focus. Like, street stuff and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame Dre. You know, you can't put the blame on Dre for that. And here's my thing. I'm not, you know, when it comes to Dre, yes, you know, I like his music and everything like that, but I'm not a big fan of him as a person, you know, because of some of the stuff that he's done or whatever. But in this instance, I can't put that on Dre. That has to go on you, you know, and you and Kanye, you know, y'all kind of remind me of each other, but the only reason, you know, that I look at Kanye in a different light is the fact that Kanye, you know, let's just call it what it is. Kanye is an individual that is very intelligent. Sometimes he, you know, you might get the feeling that you know he, you know, doesn't have no common sense with some of the things that he says. But with the business moves that Kanye makes, you can really see that you know he's made smarter decisions in terms of what he's done from a business standpoint, and that's what separated him and the game. But for Game to come out and say that, you know what I'm saying, I felt like wrong because to be honest with you, if it wasn't for you know guys like you know Dr. Dre and 50 Cent and everything, because when you were rapping and stuff like that, what were you doing? You were saying, okay, you know, repping for Compton, you know, talking about, you know, you were young Dre, you know, so you can't flip the script and then say, okay, well, I feel this type of way, so I'm not going to pay homage or anything like that. You know, it doesn't work like that. And when people are going to feel salty, especially when you reach a certain level of, of success, because Dr. Dre has been kind of getting it from all angles. Now he's done some stuff to people in which you know it's going to warrant you know that boomerang, so to speak. You know, such as you know the situation that happened with Michelle, uh, you know, various other situations, probably with some other artists or whatever, in which things didn't go too well. Now that he became a billionaire and everything like that, you know, you got the ex-wife getting money off of him. You got people going at him saying that you know he should do this. Then they got a complaint with the FCC. It was like 33 complaints for the Super Bowl. So, and then on top of that, he was in the hospital and everything like that. You know, that's a whole other thing because we don't want to wish nothing bad on anybody in that regard. You know what I'm saying? He was close to losing his life and everything. But my question is this: were you there on the bedside? Were you there to say, hey, I hope everything's all right with you, check on him and stuff like that? Did you do that, even despite your trials and tribulations? That's what we have to ask. That's what we have to ask. You know, I I started like kind of, I guess you could say, after the Black Wall Street. You know, there were some songs here and there, like I did like 100 when it came with him and Drake or whatever. But after that, man, I started like not really paying attention to the game and stuff like that. But I'm like, man, this guy want to focus on just constant beats, whatever, beating with this person or beating with that person, stuff like that, or do you really want to make quality music that's going to stand the test of time? Because last time I checked, that's what Dr. Dre was doing. You got to think about it. He made music that can stand the test of time. People still, jamming his songs to this day, both young and old. And see, the reason why, and this is my final point, when it comes to Kanye, he's done the same thing. He made songs, whether you like them or not, regardless of how you feel about Kanye. They feel some type of way about Kanye, but you got to give Kanye credit. He's up there with amongst the list of having the most Grammys. And look, I'm not gonna get into the whole climbing the ladder thing. All the you know stuff that comes with behind the scenes of hip hop and stuff like that. I'm just looking at it from a talent standpoint. When he first came on the scene, Kanye was pretty much one of a kind. And I'm talking about it. A producer, beat maker. He was one of a kind. But you know, Kanye has music that's gonna stand the test of time. They're gonna jam Kanye's music probably 20 years, 30 years later. But can you say that for the game? Can you say that for the game? And you really can't say that. Because think about it. And I said it was going to be my last point, but this is my final point for real now. Ain't nothing but a G thing is now being played at social gatherings that are not accustomed to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like that, California love. You understand what I mean? Like, Dr. Dre constantly, and on top of that, he's created generational wealth by becoming a billionaire. I mean, his family doesn't have to want for anything. I mean, it's for generations to come. And I think the game is kind of salty about that. Now, I don't look into a man's pocket, never have or never will. But I think that's one of the reasons why he's feeling the way that he feels. A lot of artists, they feel some type of way towards different artists as they get older because they think about, man, I could have had the money that he had. I could have had the money that she had. I could have been here. That could have been me or something like that. You never know how a person is feeling. So that's my take on it. Y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments, like the video, share, subscribe, and hit the notification. Follow Sports Talk and Entertainment. I'll get at you, man.